Thanks for messing around and more. Suikoden 2 HD Remaster. We are ending the war. Let's end this war. I've got no requests for the party, so hey, let's just throw in everything. Also, off camera, I went and grinded up enough potch to get everyone basically their best equipment and all their weapons to 16. Yay, that happened. Even characters I haven't used, like ever. Now I have level 16 weapons. 16 everywhere. Fine, scrolling. Alrighty. Let's put Stallion in. Because he has the spark rune, because he's the fastest character in the game. Then we're gonna put our good friend here, Alien, because she's got healing. We're gonna go put George Prime in, because George Prime rules. And Peshmerga, because Peshmerga also rules. And who's our last? Up free for more thick frontline action. We put in Shin for reasons. How about Claw for another backliner? You know, one of the strongest characters in the game, except I haven't done anything with him. Or shall we bring the last of our friends? Wait, where's Mukumuku? There we go. Mukumuku, the last of our 4 friends. He must be here to confront Jowie. It's only right. I was able to get basically no real attack runes. So I'm gonna have to go and put some stuff on. Oh, I also figured out how my cultive actually, block that magic is because he's got a wind rune on his weapon, and wind rune does that. Not what I need. Friendship, rage, technique, magic drain, technique, and you can't have anything. So I'm fine actually. The Mukumuku needs some levels. Wait, do you not have a rune slot? The heck? That's strange. That is very strange. Regular magic runes shouldn't have specific hands they need to be on. Huh. Well, off to the renewal. But first, the guardian deity, this ugly unicorn turtle. So you give the 4 plans over to Jude here, and there's 4 for each, so 16, well, like 256 or whatever, combinations total. And once you do it, it pops out a reward, which can range from absolute garbage to super unique. Including the Fortune Prosperity Orb. It's the only way to get them without the pre-order bonus, but I instead chose to get the Hunter's Orb down here. Forces enemy to drop item if you hit it with a 5% chance. And I use that to farm up those technique orbs and then go farm then oodles and oodles and oodles of cash. Incidentally, I also won the rope climbing minigame to get the plans I needed to get the Hunter Orb, so hey. The good thing I sure saved before getting the guarantee, because The fandom wiki says that there's two. You can get two plan sets you can get with the Hunter Orb. But one of them was a lousy Gozu Orb. Sure to save often, kids. Sure to save often. Also, you can fly by cedar pants, though. By the way, Kobold. You got some business with little Richmond here? Never know by looking at him, but the old man just loves sweets. I watched him put away 3 pieces of cheesecake in about 5 minutes. Look at the old secrets. Here's George's, which is fascinating. He's got a hell of a history. In the Scarlet Moon Empire, he's one of the 6 great generals. In the Grasslands, he was an Ebony Moon Knight. In Felena, he was a Royal Knight. He just threw it all away. So yes, there were 6 great generals during the succession war between Gale and Ragnar, and George was the 6th one. He is in fact actually in the Suikoden 1 manual. If you go looking. Won't recognize him, but he's there. A very interesting pose. Ebony Moon Knight thing never comes up again. Who knows what that means. Felena, though, is the setting of the 5th game, and his time as a Royal Knight. I'm not sure why it's called Royal Knight when it's a Queen's Knight in that game. Maybe it is always Royal Knight, but whatever. He was a Queen's Knight there, involved in that whole war. And Secret 4, for 4,000 potch. Or 400 potch, yes. Da, 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 da. Huh? What? You want to teleport somewhere? Shazam! And over here is the one other village. Oh, I could just let you go. Wait, no, I need to level up Mook Mooku. There's the one other village in Highland. This is Saja Village. It's actually where Clive's side quest ends if you actually do it. Good God. It's where the rare find for the golden hammer is. And I was not expecting this to happen, but okay. You can buy windspun armors here, despite the fact that there's like no characters that can actually equip heavy armor in this game. I actually, and I didn't screenshot this, but I got the golden hammer, the windspun armor, and the calf there. Just on to run through randomly. The technique rune gives you a 40% chance to steal. Regular enemies full potch are like a third of a boss's potch. Not bad for money grinding, but I specifically got the Hunter's Orb to get the Technique Orbs, because if I wanted to like go grind up everyone's like best armor set, so frankly, some of the enemies in here will drop things better than the silver hats, but silver hats are generally better. Ying, our army has been vanquished, but our spirit has not. You will not pass here, for our fallen warriors, for the Karya, and for the king! And then she fights us alone, and we'll lose horribly. Because I am fully set up to beat her up with my auto attacks. No, Muku Muku, how dare you! Good God, how many... That was 3 attacks, that was crazy. He doesn't have that much health. Okay, let's blast you with a forgiveness sign. I think he'll have priority, and front row is so strong it doesn't really matter. Just activate that and go for punchy punch. Or Moku though. Yeah, Stallion and George and we of course Ying were part of my grinded team, so they're a bit overleveled. 30,000 potch, yay! I could spend all that money clearly. Why? Why can't we win? We're not in the right. It's been a long time, Lucia. You, the daughter of Green Hill, why are you here? You come to mock me. I haven't forgotten my promise. I will investigate the truth of what you said. About my father murdering your own. About you. You still wish to die, even though I've made this promise? What promise? Acting mayor of Green Hill, it is my duty to seek out the truth and enact justice, even if it means damaging my father's reputation. Don't you wish to seek the truth for yourself? You! It's okay, Shin. Why don't you try to run? Because I know you. You wouldn't hurt an unarmed opponent. Risa, why do you have such faith in people? I have faith in you, that's all. Go, Ying. This is your fight now. All that remains to me is to watch events unfold. Ying, please be careful. We're all waiting for you. Commander Ying. Go, Ying. Good thing I have plenty of stocked up 8 medicines. Though, frankly, I need... no... I mean, I don't need Silent Lake for the rest of the run. Blood Renewal is the biggest dungeon in the entire game. It is absolutely enormous. God help you. They have a darker blue armor. The Highland Soldiers. Didn't I have a rage rune on her? Why did I take that off? They do not have much health, huh? Frankly, I'm surprised George got hit. The commanders there can drop the wind helmet, which is the best at helmet. And now their bodies stay on the ground in the game. And what I'd equip on Stallion. Increases speed, it's got a smidgen more defense. But I'd prefer the silver hats just because, well, if you're running Sparkler and Stallion, you're running off the best speed in the game. You don't need to worry about that. A Stallion would be fine for it. Yeah, I'm durable enough to just fight through this. And the silver hats will keep me topped up, mostly. Yeah, I think there's probably some sort of visual guide on GameFAQs or something for the dungeon. He wants to do something lame like that. And instead, he could just run around randomly, killing everything he can. Also, monsters. I think Chimeras drop something real good. Or something real terrible. It can be hard to tell sometimes. Fighting dudes, time. Commander makes it slightly wreckier. Probably should have spread the damage out more. But I don't really need to. Like I said, the front row is really strong. Look at how fast I've almost maxed out on money again. Fury Orb. Plenty of good stuff around. Go, Moku. Max is still 999,000. Unfortunate. I don't know what it is in 3 and 5 because there's really issues there. Wow. Moku, no. It's something really high in 5 though. And if you're wondering about the antitoxin, the enemy that dropped the technique orbs dropped a lot of antitoxin. So much antitoxin. I was out there for like an hour. I do believe I can use an escape rune here, which will help considerably. More royal guards, they slaughter. But that one should just auto. Move, go! It's locked. How about I open it? On the other side, after all. Just... Hey, I'm ambushing you from behind. Nothing's stopping you from just leaving after every boss fight to go heal it. Or in my case, buy oodles and oodles of other stuff, I guess. Or have the money for it. Bad thing is, these guys aren't even where I grinded, obviously because they didn't run in Lucia. One of the plans I needed to get the Hunter Orb and Prosperity Fortune was actually over in the Rocketime Mountains, where Humphrey and Futch's side quests are. You can still do it, and the Harpy will actually be buffed up to accommodate. Ogro, ooh. Water resistance. Who can even equip this? Ellie. Wait, is Magic Robe really the best robers can run? Always angry. All the time. Yarr. Punch, hit. Wow, they're durable. How dare you do that to poor Moku? How? Wow. Yeesh, I should probably just buy a bunch of mega medicines. Bolt of Wrath, that's so worthless. Take him away. I mean, there's just one. Surely I can take out one. No, I can't take out one. Oh, back to the start. Well, not the start yet, but close to it. Provisions aplenty. Okay, let's actually, back off this. I need to give her a damage rune or something. I mean, at the very least, throwing out Moku isn't going to be an issue. Ugh. They are so weirdly strong. I'll get most of them down now, but still. Wow. That's what I get for having to use Moku. He must come here. He must confront Jowie as the last of the 4 friends. And then Lucia and Teresa and Shin all go away. In fact, Teresa's gone from here. Weirdly, Victor and Flick were. Okay. Let's stay and restore our stats. And why didn't I save? Please come again, sir. Dragon time. Alright, now sell off all these lousy antitoxins. Queen Ellie and Ying. I'll have the healing for all the remaining bosses down pat. How much is that? 1,000. Get as much mega medicine as I can. And I can put on that Fury robe. Or, not Fury robe, Fury orb. Dump a bit of extra armor in the little storage bin. I want to use Mikultov or Doe all of a sudden. Bunch of worthless defective urns and a blue dragon urn. A blue dragon victory for us all. That's the wrong way. Green is where I wanted. Some fury on us. I mean, counter's pretty lousy. Mokumoku can even counter? What is the what level is the healing on? Wind Rune. 2. And that protection mist is useless, so putting Wind Rune on her isn't a bad idea. I need to use Jean to attach runes. That's just silly to not think otherwise. Do I have anything that Mokumoku can use? Water. No healing from Mokumoku for no reason. It's the only thing you can use the fire orb. It's so weird. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay, I have a whole page of Mega Medicines. That's basically a full heal. Le renewal. Charge into the fray. Oh, I think you can get. Oh, I think the Guardian Deity gives you that Champion's Orb. There's so many unique orbs that are only gotten through the Guardian Deity. It's lame. Those bodies will remain forever. Alright, as long as I don't use up too many magic charges. Oh, hey, I can let him go. That's lame. Why let him go when I can instead smash everything? And my pot is once more maxed out. Door. So you've come this far. Seems your efforts to prevent the Bright Shield rune and the Black Sword rune from meeting in battle for naught. Genkaku and I, all we were able to do was prolong things a little bit longer. Stand aside. That I cannot do. I'm sworn to defend this king, and as a general I will not neglect this oath. My duel with Genkaku continues here. Final duel! You think you can beat me, boy? Yes, if you just defend. Now feel my deadly sword. What deadly sword? Boy. Kaku's son. What is your name? I am called Ying. I must apologize to all of you. 25 years ago, Kaku and I sealed our two runes. The Bright Shield rune and the Black Sword rune were once a single rune. The power of their true form, the rune of the beginning, is that to rule over conflict. In order to wield that power, to obtain the rune of beginning, you must first... Ying, you are a strong command. Genkaku and I were weak. Forgive us for our weakness, the suffering we caused you. Oh boy. And Cunningham is the guy who saved Luca and Sarah. Genkaku, now we can finally rest from the Joustian bandits. Also, I didn't really bring it up, but Sarah Blight has the same name as Sarah from Suikoden 1. There's also another Sarah somewhere down the line. I've forgotten who, but there is. 3 ways to go. Ambush! For 66 damage. Oh, I have too much money. Man, I've completely... I guess the other way was loot. Because this definitely has... Oh, this is progress behind it, doesn't it? I also went back and checked the bestiary because I was looking up item drops. The Luca Blight has way less health than I thought. Like an astounding amount. It's locked. Like I thought he had 10,000, but he only has like 6,500. Guess his defenses are just high enough that you overlook it. In the duel, he's obviously very damaged and hurt. He actually has less... There's actually specific duel stats, and his duel stats are worse than Han's. You just watch how badly I beat Han up. This place must be a nightmare to work in. Loot! A stone of power! A stone of protection! There used to be an old trick where if you ever game overed, it would put you back at your last save point, but any experience or stones you have would be... Your experience would be retained, and any stones and items you use would be restored. So you could actually ease yourself to like super high stats by using all your stones, losing a fight, continuing, and coming back, and dying again and again. Why is it locked? Loranul is also like one of the biggest cities on the whole continent. What else? Lucia is actually going to be showing up in Suikoden 3. She's a Star of Destiny and the mother of one of the 3 main characters. Beecham, the guy she called for outside of Joust in Muse City, is also going to be a Star of Destiny in 3. Cool old dude. Everyone likes him. Now there's the champion's orb. Wind amulet. Yes, but more speed. I have that wind ornament on him. Make sure he goes as fast as possible, and that means everyone else goes as fast as possible. Orc orb strats! Like I said, this whole thing is just a giant maze. That must be a nightmare to live in working. Man, I don't like seeing maxed out potch. Means I'm being inefficient. It's just so hard to tell where you've been in this place. Mooka Mooka might go down to his knees here. Yep. Well, that's what my giant stock mega medicine is for. Everyone else is nice and healy. And the silver hats and all that are keeping them good. Well, except Stallion, who doesn't have one. Oh, I have to go all the way around to get there. Boobly boobly. And why can't we just bash down the doors like big, strong army mans? Don't run. I mean, it really should be can't run. Yeah, just the flaws of translation, like become anger. Or how you can change the entire meaning of something with a similar enough sounding word. Like one of these, I'll just say it is when you encounter the Death Knight in one of the missions in Fire Emblem of Three Houses. He talks about how the weak will die and all that. But that's not the right translation. The right translation would be the soft-hearted would die, which completely changes the annotations of the conversation and his character. Three Houses has a lot of errors in its translation, which leads to a lot of bad online arguing. Map spread on a table. A bunch of fancy rooms. It takes just forever to get through here. Granted, I am exploring to get other loot. Look at all these guys about to die. Anyway, the Suikoden 5 potch cap is at like 9 million. And obviously all 9 in are 99 million. I actually hit it once on my first playthrough. I totally went and grinded it to max to see what it was. Because in that game, there's actually prosperity equipment, which increases the amount of pot you gain by 10% per each piece you have on. And you have 4 accessory slots there, and they're prosperity rings. I'm thinking it's 9 million because I remember getting 1 million off of certain encounters. 99 million. That amount of potch lasted me quite literally the like 6 more playthroughs after that. Because 5 has a new game plus feature, yay! You retain a bunch of nice bonus features. Your levels and stuff get reset, as well as your armors. Well, I don't remember exact everything that gets reset, but a lot of stuff does. Oh, I'm completely lost here. Yeah, I could just backtrack. Probably find some treasure along the way. But who wants treasure when instead you could hit things? Thing is, I found the progress so early, and I knew it was progress because the way it was set up with the Champion's Orb chest. I wanted to go explore more, even though La Ranule is quite long. Oh, hey, a flame helmet. Like the best heavy helmet in the game. Oh no, the horn helmet is better. This has strength 4. What do I give up? I give up 5 defense for 4 strength and fire resistance. That's a superior choice. The hell? Oh, that Champion's Orb was progress. Must have been a locked door next to it then. Oh, hey, Pessmerga's on his knees. My stat line doesn't make you invincible. But yeah, I was actually looking at it earlier, and he has actually high enough mag to use a level 4 rune, or a level 4 spell. Actually surprisingly nice. Yeah, the luck and the speed aren't great, but Spark Rune fixes speed issues. Luck isn't that important anyway. Oh sure, you can super grind yourself up to get like Kalianchina. Kerberos reliefs. Be super strong and all that, but you know, who wants to level Chaco when you can have a cool Black Knight instead? Save, oh, Journeyman's Orb. I don't even remember this existing. Hey, Escape Talisman. Uh-oh. I actually want to blast you because you're weirdly durable. Oh, Muku, why? How could you lose? You're a monster. You're supposed to have... Wow, that is awful, Dex. Truly bad. Wow. Why are you so bad with your Dex, Muku? Why are you bad? Well, that's what Mega Medicine is for. I'll fix you up good, squirrel buddy. We gotta confront Joey. This... Goldlets. I love gold. I don't even know why I'm fighting these. They're not going to drop anything helpful. Well, I guess I healed up a bit. I still needed money, sure. I would be fine with it, but I don't. Man. Maybe the crit will be enough. Double crit. Wow. 4-digit damage from Pessmerga. You were basically never going to see 4-digit with a physical in the first game, but here, it's definitely a good chance. Just in action. Window set 7, yay, at the very end of the game. Well, that's what escape talismans are for. Ink. Yeah, this is the balcony. Courtyard. Okay, then that staircase down there that I skipped by was leading up to that spot. I end up going the right way by accident. Yep, this is definitely it. Journeyman Orb is shining. And it heals me. I don't know if it restores spell charges, but... Ying, the personal chambers of the Blight family lie beyond here. They are no place for intruders like you. This is all that's left of our country. All that's left of our pride. We won't let you trample on it. Get out of my way. Don't be stupid. This would ever play out like that. Get out of my way. As the commander of the Yukon army, truly come all this way, just to turn coward here at the end. Get out of my way. Yeah, well, you're welcome to try. Go ahead and be like Luca Blight, just hacking apart everything in your path. Ying, it is your duty to fight us. I think between when we see them and when we finally fight them, this is the longest. Yay. User only, reflects magic damage. That's terrible. I mean, it's not actually terrible. It's really good. Oh no, I want to focus on Seed first. He's slightly less durable. No. Oh, I took Earth Rune off. Oops. No, wait, I must use Mukumu's amazing firepower. Repel magic! It will not work once, I bet. Arrow, 174. And double attack, go. Aha, you got hit by a squirrel fire. See, it is resistant to fire, as obvious. Unite attack from the enemy! Good damage to my heavier frontliners, but not gonna be enough. Not unless you double up on it. I mean, just focus everything on Seed's a good idea. It's basically incredibly unlikely to happen. Yep, that figures. But they can drop the Flowing and Rage runes, I think. Or maybe Cyclone. I don't know. Definitely the high tier 2 ones. They on balance. That's comedy. Yeah, they were never going to last long. Remember, my guys aren't even like super specialized or anything. This is not a team that's going to be one rounding the final boss like I could pull off in 5 or even... Back when I played this originally, I was eventually able to one round the final boss through some hilarity. And a bit of luck. Why? Why? What did Mukumuku ever do to you? Why is this healing so much better than ours? Actually, I don't even know where the Flowing Rune is otherwise. Fury comes on Peshmerga's weapon and with Camus. Thunder is from... These two give a lot of XP. And since I'm over 60, you can see I'm not getting a lot of stats. 0 to 1. This didn't have to happen. Is it really so strange, Ying, that we should fight? Master Ying, just as you are the hope of the Unicorn Army, King Jowie is ours. He rid us of Luca Blight, and we hoped he would lead Highland to a better future. That is all. Go on. We don't have the strength left to fight. It was fun. All the plans we made for this country, for the future. We fought so hard. Indeed. It is a fine thing to meet our destiny alongside our kingdom. What's wrong, Joey? Palika. Palika, this is where we say goodbye. I know. But you'll be back soon, just like always, right? Palika, this will likely be the last time you see me. It's goodbye forever. But... No! 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 I don't want you to go away! I don't want to be alone! Palika, listen to me. You're going to grow up and meet lots of people. You're going to lose a lot of people too. That's why you mustn't forget, Palika. Enjoy the good moments you have together. And don't feel sad about saying goodbyes, okay? Palika. Okay. I understand. But can I ask just one favor? What is it? Can you pick me up and hold me like my daddy used to? Just once, please. Sure. My daddy... He used to hold me just like this. Thank you, Palika. You asked for me? Come in. I have a favor to ask, Julia. What is it? Seed and Kulgan are buying us some time. This castle will soon fall. When that happens, so too will the Kingdom of Highland. Before that happens, I want you to take Palika and flee to Harmonia. Prepared a nice secluded home for the two of you there. Given all the details to the servants. I want you to live there. Not as a member of the Blight family, but under a new name. As you wish. So, is it really over? I'm afraid so. In that case, farewell. Come along, Palika. Julia. I'm sorry. Why do you say that? Why are you apologizing? Julia? You think I didn't know? How you used me? What you did to my brother and father? What you sought? I knew all of it. Even then, I always loved you for your heart, your dreams, your goals. Why do you apologize to me now? You did what you believed was right. You don't need to apologize for that. That is the kind of man I married. The kind of man I loved. If I were to die, would you shed tears for me? Please live, Julia. This is our final goodbye. Julia. Goodbye, Joey. Goodbye, Julia. There's a little interconnecting room here. Dream and orb is shining. Your fatigue is lifted. Let us save the game. I think I was able to get up to like the 70s or 80s by farming Seed and Kulgan here for a bit. Ying, though the outcome is not as I intended, I must admit I'm impressed you made it here, that you emerged victorious. Well, this is the end. The Beast Rune, the incarnation of hatred that is Luca Blight's legacy, lies here before you. I can no longer maintain the seals on this materialization. It has already unleashed its thirst for blood on the citizens of Muse. If unleashed, this beast will ravage the land until all has returned to nothingness, just as Luca Blight wished. This is your final trial, Ying. Are you up to this task? And then Leon just mucks off to do whatever. And once again, our final boss is the power of a true rune. And we must beat up this rune in the center before we can actually attack anything. So, well, we're doing that and using nothing but physical attacks, because it will knock out its spellcasting. Huh, that's not spells. Interesting. It should have been spells, but that explains a lot. The rune has like 2,500 health. Well, that ended poorly. I didn't think it would be immune to this, but... Oops. Occasionally just roars and skips its turn. So it does let me show off as that. Suikoden 2 actually has a scaling, where the less party members you have, the less damage they'll start taking. Even magic attacks can start doing like no damage to George. Uh-oh. He's the last man standing. Yep, you have to go through this the entire time. No, just we're starting from the boss. I don't remember how it works for the rest of the series. I think it's always just save point with the boss. Oh, I can't skip it, huh? Obviously, I wouldn't have been fine, but I thought most of his big attacks were magic, not physical. So I have 5 shots of big healing. I didn't even get to break the rune, which is funny. Yo, Muku Muku, use your fire arrows. Yuck. Oh, hey, he came up. Alright, now for a big hit. Heals 2,000 HP for all allies, and remainder is enemy damage, and removes status effects. The full power of the forgiveness sign. All the war be remembered. No, this is its big move. The moon! Heavy magic damage, but... Man. Battle Oath. Now we can start beating up everything else. You know, I'm actually at full enough health. Ooh, a lot of... Use only reflect magic damage. I don't want to use Silent Lake, so... Start beating up that left leg there. $350. The legs are not particularly durable. Frankly, I really shouldn't be attacking them in the first place, but... Oh man, you repaired the rune immediately. Oh man, I wasn't expecting that to come up so quick. That needs a great blessing. The rune protects everything from being hurt, so it doesn't even transfer hits either. You gotta break it. Uh-oh. I've never had status effect issues. I didn't even know it could really do status effects like this. Does kindness rain? Okay, it does cure status. Defend, Muku Muku! Defend! Why is it so durable? This boss doesn't actually have that much health overall. I just wanted to destroy the legs just so I could extend it a bit. But, like I said, I have no joke had done solo runs of this. You really beefed him up for hard, eh? There's one leg down. Ow, triple act. Muku Muku, no! How dare you! Acting, jeez. I don't want to just spam Bright Oath, but... Great Blessing, but... You gotta do what you gotta do. Man, it's healing for 200. Why is it so good? Hey! Take that. Let's get him an attack. Ellie can... Actually, do you have... You only have one more, so Battle Oath would be preferable here. That way, in case he gets silenced at a bad time, I can heal him up. Battle Oath! Yay, Angry George, go! Oh, jeez, so hard. And Ying is my heaviest hitter, basically. Or one of my heaviest hitters, just because friendship is so good. Nope. Everything on the left head. You need to heal yourself to full. Oh no. Everything on left head, go! Yeah, I want to be at full health now. Man. It's hitting so hard. That's crazy. You had actually moved yourself back up to full health. $154. Yay. George still has anger, so hold on to that. I think I'm fine to attack. I got further. One more head down. Yeah, physical one. Can't all do all three attacks at once. George, go. Kill yourself. Yeah, if I didn't silent leg, I would have been just blazing through it. No issue. Oh, you can triple act. Still, this should finish you off. Ooh! Dig that, beast rune. Yay, level ups. Money? Why did you give me money? Time to confront Joey. Or not. Moo moo. Why? Why is it empty? And then, at the very least, the beast room doing things makes it more sensible that this part collapses. One, it makes no sense. Ying, let's get out of here before this place collapses around our ears. Hurrying. No, we've got to find Joey. Cease this idiocy. Let's go. Dragged off by Peshmerga of all people. I don't remember what happens if you have no one. Oh, look at that four-directional movement. Get out of that here. I didn't even go up that way, did I? Commander Ying, could he have... Don't say that, even as a joke. He'll make it out, I know it. He can't die. Going to bring peace to this land. There's no way he would die. Look! Ying! 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 I was worried about you, Ying. Welcome back, Ying. That's the Ying I know. You've got more good luck than you need. You did it. You really came back, Ying. Yay! Yahoo! The fall of Le Renouille. Escape to Le Renouille. Good morning, Ying. Hey, come on, get up. Lord Mackay from Two River, Mayor Gusta from Tinto, and everyone else are all waiting for you in the Great Hall. No dragging your feet. The war may be over, but there's still a lot of things to be done. You got a whole new nation to build, right? Remember when Nanami woke us up? I'm gonna keep that save. Akutai. Well, there's probably a reason I had that there, but who cares? We've been awaiting you, Commander Ying. I command you, Commander Ying. Now we can leave behind this long, long history of conflict. Well, at least now there's one less enemy threatening the soil of the city-states. We still don't have true peace in these lands. That's why we are here before you today with a request, Commander. So long as the Holy Kingdom of Harmonia exists in the north, stability here will remain uncertain. Furthermore, the city-states once fell to Luca Blight because no trust had existed between us. What this land needs is a single, undivided nation. Thus, we ask that you found the Unicorn Republic here and serve as its leader. Master Shu has already brought this matter before each of the city-states and obtained our consent. The idea was voted on and approved unanimously by the 3 houses of Parliament and 2 River as well. If that means a stronger nation, we have no objections either. The Knightdom of Matilda is no more, but we will follow your orders in this matter, Commander Ying. I agree with Miklotov. Luca Blight may have robbed Muse of much of its strength, but we still haven't lost our pride as the center of the Alliance. As acting mayor of Muse City, I also intend to follow your will in this, Commander. Please ignore that fit you're supposed to be acting mayor. I understand. Commander Ying, we thank you. We hereby announce the birth of the Unicorn Republic. May it bring unwavering peace to these lands from this day, this hour, to eternity. And to this end, we swear to serve Commander Ying with pride and fidelity. Nice Hauser on the Tinto spot. Oh, the bookworms doing work. Yarr, the kobolds go. The next generation must learn. But aren't we forgetting something? Teresa Wiseman became mayor of Greenhill and made peace with Akaria. She would go down history as a distinguished mayor. Shin left Greenhill to sharpen his skills as a swordman and never returned. Melee returned to New Leaf Academy, later became headmaster and also taught at the school. Pitcher returned to Muse City and was later elected as mayor. Jess finished his term as acting mayor and chose to live as a normal citizen. Hauser took up a position as commander-in-chief of the Unicorn Army. Oh, Hauser, I wish I could have used you more. Reed Yamamoto refused the position in the Unicorn Republic and returned to life in Reddit. Yoshino Yamamoto, as promised, she returned around with Reed and lived happily ever after. Marlo founded a library in Tinto City and taught many children magic learning. Also, Marlo joined us. Gijimu fought on the Grasslands War as commander of the Tinto City forces. Lowen lived happily in Two River City where she opened a restaurant. Koyu occasionally visited Marlo and marvels at his great scholarship. Reed and Yoshino have a daughter who shows up in 3. Hilda returned to the White Deer Inn and lived a happy life with Alex and Pete. Alex returned to White Deer Inn, but can't seem to lose his treasure hunting bug. Maximilian, once the war was over, he fulfilled his long service as a knight and left. Miklotov formed the Matilda Knights and was put forward to be their commander, but politely declined the honor. Camus reformed the Matilda Knights along with Miklotov and then journeyed to the western grasslands. Richmond continues to be a private investigator in Reddit. Miklotov and Camus would show up in Suikoden 2 to investigate in the grasslands with Nash, Victor, and Flick. Also, you'll notice that it's not going from the Star Order this time. Hey look, Highland soldiers. Oh, hi soldiers now. actually separated how it goes. The burning port. Ellie returned to her life as a traveling performer, but often thinks of Ying. Rena leads a group of performers with Ellie and Bogan and travels around the world. Bogan returned to his life as a traveling performer while continuing to read books and studying hard. Annalie travels with her music group, sharing her beautiful voice with people everywhere. Pico travels with Annalie and continues to get in trouble wherever he goes. Alberto travels with the group while improving the armor skills they learned in Crom. He was in Tinto, not Crom. Taiho returned to Kaku in the life of ribaldry and moral turpitude. What? Yamku enjoys a life of fishing on the shores of Lake Torin. Templeton once more journey in an effort to discover the edge of the world. Esmerga left the Unicorn Republic to once again pursue Yubber. Killy journeyed to Konokan, south of the Torin Republic, to continue delving into the mystery of the Cinder. Lorelei scheming to investigate the ruins of Konokan before Killy can get there. Konokan is to the southeast. Sai patched things up with his estranged wife after being dragged home by Tomo, where they now live happily as a family. Reunited her parents, she is currently living happily at home with both of them. Hannah traveled the grasslands without saying a word to anyone. Damza stayed in the Unicorn Army as a magic instructor, still as infuriating as ever. George Prime, with his contract over, he vanished, whereabouts currently unknown. Anita traveled to the Torn Republic to challenge her rival, who is Valeria. Konokan is to the southeast. Directly to the south is the remains of the old Kuluk Empire, which was destroyed during Suikoden 4 and Suikoden Tactics. Scarlet Moon consumed some of the northern territory, but the southern half is basically just nothing now. Ridley Wiseman returned to Two River, where he continued as leader of the Kobold Army, helping to train the younger generation. Taco returned to Two River, constantly stirring up lots of trouble with his pals. Sid, leaving his strange funny life while still teasing Chaco. Gingen achieved his desire to becoming captain of the Unicorn Army's Kobold unit. Gabochog, currently performing admirably as Gingen's second in command. Yuzu finally found her grandpa and returned home with Taro. Taro was her sheep. Vincent de Bull journeyed to the Holy Kingdom of Harmonia to continue his studies abroad. Simone Verdici left with Zinza and journeyed to the Holy Kingdom of Harmonia. Hans still working as armor of Orange Castle. Golan stayed in the Unicorn Republic and became commander of the Elite Guards. Genshi returned to his life of wandering. Nobody knows of where his whereabouts. Gentetsu returned to Quolan in the Torn Republic, where his expulsion was rescinded, and resumed his training. Taki lived happily with her daughter's family in Two River. Shiro, his gambling success in Orange Castle is still a raging success. Tetsu returned to Lakeless, where he's building the largest bathhouse in Unicorn. Wikamaru traveled north once again in search of his object of his revenge. Long Chen never forgets to do his daily runs, squats, push-ups, and sit-ups. Aqua trained daily with her master. Her goal is to beat a bear with her bare hands. But she kicks! Mecha barrel! Gadget, go! Meg, riding on Gadget, she took off for an adventure to find Jupo. Gadget needs to allow Meg to travel with him despite her selfishness. Tenku retired to a quiet life in Crown Village. Meg and Gadget would also show up in Suikoden 2, where they have fun time travel adventures with Vicky and Nash and Millie. Rara journeyed north towards the Torin Republic. Tessai continued his work as a blacksmith at Orange Castle, dreaming of working on a famous sword. Labrante continues to work as an appraiser, trying to bring his Celadon Urn collection to 1,000. Mazza sets off for the Torin Republic to battle his arch-rival, Crowley the Wizard. Gilbert, tired of war, retired as a mercenary and returned home to his wife and child in Zexon. Gordon, still living in the Republic of Unicorn, trying to expand Gordon's mercantile. Zexon is next to the grasslands way to the west. Oi thought about wiping his hands in thievery, making an honest living, but quickly changed his mind. Tony continues to work at fields to grow delicious vegetables in the fertile fields of Tinto. Io leaves in order to avoid being caught by the clan. Io's ending would change if the cook-off was finished. Adelaide returned to South Window to continue investigating, making trouble for his neighbors. Jude, looking for inspiration for a new work, following the completion of the Orange Castle's Guardian Deity. Jean returned to Ante to continue to work as a rune sage. Aaron, still an incredibly popular dancer in the streets of Cuscus. Connell, after returning to Forest Village, he then headed for Crystal Valley to continue studying. Luke, after the war, he considered his role fulfilled and returned to Leknot's services. Blind squirrel, go! I'll let it the moon, Shiro. Feather, with no place to return to, he still protects Orange Castle from all intruders. Siegfried, return quietly to the forest. Muku Muku, return to the forest from whence he sprung. Humphrey, set off on a journey again to the one temple of Crystal Valley. Set off for the Crystal Valley with Humphrey in search for more for dragons. Millie traveled to the Crystal in search of a bride for Bonaparte. Millie won't show up in 3 for some reason. Stallion continues his journey to become the fastest man in the land. Mondo, having completed Hanzo's mission, he returned to Rokaku Hamlet. Sasuke returned to Rokaku Hamlet with Kazumi and Mondo. Humphrey and Fudge will show up in Suikoden 2. Amanda, commanded her ship and returned to the island nations. Ado, stayed in Unicorn as Beastmaster where he practices his unique skills. Bob moved back to the Kobold Village where he complains a lot but lives a happy life. Ada returned to the deep forest where she lives a life of harmony with nature. Kinnison returned with Shiro to the woods near Ube, but occasionally visits the deep forest too. Shiro is always seen by the side of his master, Kinnison. If we'd gone to the fort after the Kiba thing, it would have still been too damaged to enter. And our own troops would have rejected us. Nina! Click. Instead of going back to the warrior's village, he sets off on another journey with Victor. Having finally destroyed Necklord, he sets off on an aimless journey for a change of pace. Nina tried to follow Flick, but lost sight of him and returned to the academy to wait for his return. And fall in love with another handsome man. Sierra McLean, or McCain, traveled to observe human life instead of returning to Blue Moon Village. Con Marley, no vampires left to hunt, he took off for a new life. Clive, set once again on hurt for Elza. Vicky drank too much champagne and accidentally teleported herself off somewhere. You're underage, young lady. Hicks continued a journey at his mating ceremony with Tengar. Tengar dreamed of her wedding to Hicks with a beautiful dress and the blessing of the entire village. Kiba led his own unit during the Matilda campaign and was killed at the mercenary fortress. Klaus stayed in Unicorn and received training as a military status under Shu. Kazumi returned to Rokaku Hamlet but still visits Greg Minister at least once a week. Barbara became keeper of the vault of the Unicorn Republic. Juan returned to Muse to begin training people who were injured during the war. Judah continued the advanced training in medicine while assisting Dr. Juan, and would eventually go over to Grasslands for Suikoden 3, where he mans up like hell. Leona, they say she's never named chair at a tavern in Orange Castle. Sheena returned to Torn to get extra funds for his travels, was caught and now spends his days training. Apple said goodbye to Shu and continued on a journey of research and writing a biography of Matthew. Hugh dreams of a quiet life as he continues to play a vital role in Unicorn. Enemy died in Rockhawk's castle trying to protect Ying and Jowie. Ying continues to lead the Unicorn Republic. Yep, our important characters coming at the end now. But aren't we missing another important character? Oh, his name is on the tip of my tongue. I think I even just said it. Genso Suikoden 2 stuff. Why can't I skip this? Well, that's not good. So, time be tell, Suikoden 2 is still an amazing classic. The regular gameplay has been much improved, with the combat system flowing better, looking better, having more versatility in your builds, your characters, and whatnot. The 3 runes system is much better than the single, because so many characters got locked into it. Adding weapon runes onto your weapon directly is much better than the piecing, which is really hard to do. There's a greater versatility in the runes and other stuff just showing up. More weapon-specific stuff as well. The war battles, I'd still prefer them to ones just because ones are so RNG based. It's annoying. Just run into an attack, lose a guy, and then just have to restart the battle, especially because there's no restart the battle. Compared to some of the others, though, I would go 5 at the top because it's the only one that's actually really pretty fun. Then below that, I would actually put 4s, which is something you can actually deal with. Then I would go 2, and you've seen a lot of demonstration of 2. And then below that would be 1s. And then very, very far at the bottom are 3s, who are beyond terrible, because it is quite literally just regular combat. I'm not even kidding. It's your characters and their regular combat stats going into fights, and it is stupid and bad and gets no indication this is a giant war-off at all. 2s may be random, 1s may be random. 5s are entirely in your control, and 4s are their own thing. But 3s are awful, and I hate them. The story for 2 is amazingly better. Like, 1s is really tourniquet. It never feels like the Empire is all that much of a threat. Tio is the only time they ever attack you. Lucky Star! After that, your only other, like, defeat is Antoinette and Milch, and that is just sort of, I hate to use tropes, but idiot ball, because we just let him walk out multiple times in front of us without effort. You know, and then half the villains are, oh, I've been mind controlled, or I'm too loyal. And you get transported back to the past, and Wendy just shows up to laugh evilly a couple times. Barbossa's there. And then the building collapses for no real reason, and it's weird. Here, the waging and the difficulty and the pain of war. The sprite work really helps get everything across here. It's so much better. One of the things I noticed were people talking about how it feels so much weirder that you're made in charge here, but it has a lot better justification than in 1. In 1, it's just like, oh, your eyes. Here, you are leader now. Well, in here, too, you were already in the army, even if not in a combat unit. You've gone through at least 3 battles here. You've infiltrated the enemy as a spy. You've been in combat. You've killed a lot of men. And even then, she was like, you make a very good figurehead, Commander Ying. And that's part of why. As the series goes on, it gets more and more. I think out of all of them, 1 has the least reason why you should be in charge. Because it just, oh, you're the son of a famous guy. You're in charge now. 2, I just gave all the reasons. And 3, it's very complicated because the Tenkai Star is not in charge in 3. And whoever character you charge is. Is that it? Is that the credits? Really? Huh. No, there's more credits. Can I skip these credits? No. Oh wait, that was a good time to get a screenshot of the logo. Oh well. Anyway, in 3, it has a really unique setup that I don't like, because it leads to the game's pacing being garbage. But in short, you have 6 point of views characters in 3. One of them is irrelevant. One of them is your Tenkai Star, who's mostly irrelevant and isn't in charge anyway. Then you got your 3 primary characters. You got Hugo, who is really the designated protagonist. He's the son of Lucia. He's 14, 15-ish, because he's either pregnant right now or is gonna have him real soon. Suikoden 3 takes place 15 years in the future. And there's Chris Lightfellow, who's from Zexen, which I was talking about from Gilbert. She is actually in charge of the Knights, despite there being plenty of guys who are way older than her. Because she's really good and strong. And then you got Godot, who's a guy from Harmonia doing his own thing. But I know all of them. It makes, Chris is already leading things. It makes sense that she does. Godot's led things in the past. He leads his own unit. Makes sense he can lead it. Hugo less so, but he's really the most protagonist-coded of the three. And that's how that goes. Not like the other ones all give up their full autonomy during the time either. So in 4, you just sort of happen upon it. You're really not even in charge in 4. You're just a face. Not even like good face. Because the strategist and the king in 4 will just override you at all points. Everyone basically knows they're in charge anyway. In 5, you're the prince of the country, and it's a civil war. So, it makes sense, considering you're quite literally royalty. So it makes sense you're in charge. And in 5 tactics, you're just sort of a dude doing his own thing, randomly running into guys along the way. And Tyrkis is terrible, and I don't want to talk about it. And the Suikogadens are just about you doing your own thing. Nash doing his own thing. He's not really leading anything. So that aside, this game is much longer, though. Not as long as I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be like 60 hours, because 5 is 60 easy. In fact, the prologue opening acts of 5 are like 8 hours long. It is crazy. They really, really take a long time setting things up in 5. But it is worth it, because when things pop off, you have a lot greater investment on what happens. Well, here, when the Unicorn Brigade gets slaughtered, it's like, yeah, that's terrible, but it's not like I knew them at all. Mostly just go based on the reactions of other characters have, which is effective, especially with the strong sprite work. Yeah, story-wise, it's definitely the best. I really prefer 5. I loved 5 cast, but 2 is still an excellent case of writing. You got characters making a lot of sense most of the time. You got an amazing villain in Luca, who even after you defeat him like a good 2/3 of the way through the game, his legacy still expounds in the terror and horror he's brought to you. You got desperate acts, crazy nonsense. A lot of fun characters. Characters are definitely improved after the first game. A lot of them are just bland nothings in 1, but even here, guys like Hans are much better than Chapman. Oh, right! Joey's at Tenzin Pass! Oopsie. Oh, we even promised to meet up here. Anyway, that wasn't the one who ate stars ending in 2. Huh. Weirdly enough, the mark was more visible in the original art. Well, I guess I should probably go do that. Save data? What? Why? Ooh. Interesting. But also less interesting, because 3 takes place 15 years in the future. Like, nothing really carries over or can carry over. A few old books, one of the side minigames, in names, but that's about it. But, perhaps we should go meet with Joey. After all, we are supposed to come into conflict. Hey, Ing, where do you think you're going? Look, there's a great power in you, and I don't mean that rune on your hand either. You shoulder the hopes of many people, and you have a duty to carry them through to the end. It goes for all those who died in this war, too. Leave it, Flick. He needs to do this. I just want you to remember one thing, Ying. You always got a home to come back here to. It would have made more sense if I had rejected the offer up top. Oops. Well, let's go get our full party before we go fight Joey. Well, I went to the taverns. Aww. Yeah, in the epilogue, you cannot go and do anything. Well, you can get one party member. You decide to go all the way through Banner Village, you could go recruit McDole. I've tamed Hunter Orb. Tamed Trio Painting. Acquired 30 Potch. That only shows up in this epilogue, where you cannot use the Hunter Orb at all. I'll use it effectively. I must go fight Joey now. That's why I got it from the Guardian Deity, so I could actually use the Hunter Orb. Other games, it'll just come in late, but you can actually, you know, use it. I think it comes from the final dungeon of 5, but it carries over, so you can actually start grinding out things. For all our friends were brutally slaughtered. And become the sole survivor of the Unicorn Brigade. That will go over to the renewal of the North Pass, but that's not where we made our mark. Ying, you came, just like you promised. Here we are, once again. This is where our journey began. You and I started out walking the same path, but ended up going our separate ways at some point. Even so, I have no regrets. If I were to regret my actions, I would have done so already when I betrayed the city-states and assassinated Lady Annabelle. You and I were a lot alike. We were both aiming for the same thing, but I just... The Highland Camp, after I helped you both escape, I was captured and brought before Luca Blight again. I hated his brutal ways, it's true, but I can't deny that I might have strength a little at the same time. I thought if I was that strong, I could protect everyone. I could create a gentle world where no one would ever be hurt again. But... no. Forget about it. This is a battle between the King of Highland and the leader of the Unicorn Army. This is truly the final battle. I guess you're right. Yeah. Here goes, Yang. That's it, Ying. Next, it's my turn. The promised place. That's right. Good. This long war will finally end. Ying, hold up your right hand. I was watching you. Always. Remember, these two runes were once as one. This is a beautiful thing. Even if it comes at the end of a long, vicious conflict. Even when you think you've lost everything, some things still stay with you. It caused so many deaths. No one knows the pain of that more than I do. But this is how it should be. You had to defeat me. A courageous hero to complete an evil king. The tale of your brave deeds will bring the world respite. Help them forget the horrors of war and violence. Even the defeated soldiers will take comfort in knowing they've been deceived by a villain from the outset. Ying, become a great leader for me. Stand guard over this peace that we fought so hard for. The rune will lend you its power. I'm sure of it. Farewell, Ying. My best friend just died in my arms. And then I have to watch all of this just to get the other ending CG, go figure. Really wish I could skip it. I don't think any of this changes. So it's time to talk more Suikoden! Let's talk about 3. Suikoden 3 takes place 15 years in the future. A lot of characters that carried over from 1 to 2 do not show up. We get a lot of child characters. Reed and Yoshino have a kid. Sane, who heads over there. Yuta shows up. Vicky and Jean show up. Vicky shows up twice. Lucia shows up. Beecham shows up. Apple shows up. And she's not our strategist this time. It is instead Leon's grandson. And his other grandson. The only one of these will change is going to be Ying, so no need to talk about him. Since there's currently no plans to remaster 3, even though that save data is very tempting, let's talk about 3 and its plot, and why I don't like it. So in the intervening years, the Arya under Lucia starts flourishing along with the 5 other clans, the 6 great clans, the grasslands with other minor ones that never ever come up. There's the Karya, the lizards, the ducks, yes, for both of those. Then there's 3 other human tribes of the... Well, I don't know what they're called. They're not really relevant. Like, ever. I mean, 2 of them are relevant, 1 isn't. Their just names aren't that important. Anyway, 50 years before Suikoden 3 takes place, so like minus 35 from the current time. You have Suikoden 2. There was a battle between the Grasslands and Harmonia, where a flame champion used the true fire rune. He snuck into Harmonia, stole the true fire rune, took it back, and started blasting, along with the true water and true lightning runes. Eventually, though, the true fire rune went out of control, created a giant explosion, which forced Harmonia to the peace table because it was too dangerous to keep going. This caused a bit of an issue. So that led the 3 leaders of the Flamebringers, as they were, to do 3 things with their runes. And if you don't want to be spoiled about what happens in Suikoden 3, stop it now. I'm going to give it till the end of this section with the flames in the background, if you want to cut out. Yubber is very big in 3, but Pesmerga is not there. Lucia actually has his star. Okay, so here's plot spoiler talk about Suikoden 3. So the Flame Champion and his 2 comrades. He has the Flame Rune, True Flame Rune, Fire Rune, and he decides to seal away entirely, get rid of it. Age like a normal human, lives and dies by his woman. The second one is Wyatt Lightfellow, the father of Chris Lightfellow, one of the 3 primary characters. He seals half the rune's power away, but still retains the agelessness effects. So he falls in love, has Chris, but eventually has to go into hiding as a member of the Karya, actually, because someone starts tracking him down. And the third one is actually our third protagonist, Godot, who still maintains the full power of his true lightning rune, then goes and works for Harmonia for some reason, like a weirdo. So eventually, Grasslands and Zexen come into conflict. Because, well, so it goes. Oh, and in the intermediate time, Tinto breaks from the Unicorn Republic and becomes its own republic. Go figure. Lily goes on to become a Star of Destiny in 3. So anyway, Zexen and Grasslands are at war. And the Grasslands managed to kill the captain of the Knights and their sub-captain or lieutenant or whatever. Chris manages to rally the Knights and force back the ambush, but it kills a lot of people on both sides, so both want to go for a peace treaty. And Chris goes to the Grasslands, Hugo goes, Lucia's son goes to Zexen to deliver this. But while Chris is over in Karya, something happens. The village, they get attacked. No. The chieftain of the Lizard Clan gets assassinated. And the messenger says it's by Chris, which is strange because he's in Karya. So this causes the Grasslanders to start attacking and ambushing them again, and they lose more knights fending this off. So in a desperate attempt, Chris and her entourage burn down the Karya village to escape. They manage to do so, but kill a lot more people in the process, intentionally and accidentally. And then there's a lot of mostly pointless filler as people just meander about until all 3 of them eventually find out where the Flame Champion has stored the true Flame Rune, true Fire Rune. And I do mean a lot of this. They sort of, let's see, Chris goes to one of the Karian tribes to help unlock her father's true water rune. Godot just sort of wanders about randomly. And eventually decides, I should probably use my true rune, huh? And then Hugo's just bounces along all between the place. Until he and Chris both sort of wind up in the same spot, protecting one of the clans from a Harmonia invasion led by Sasarai, who has the true Earth rune. But it's being manipulated by a masked bishop and his team of Yubber, Albert Silverberg, and the third Sarah. That's where the other Sarah was. Anyway, eventually Chris, Hugo, and Godot converge on the true fire rune, and you can select any one of the three in-game. But Hugo is really the one striving for it because, true water to Chris, and Godot has true lightning. If you choose Chris, true water will go to Hugo, and if you choose Godot, true lightning will go to Hugo. Can't have them on the other ones. Anyway, that happens, and then they sort of fight Harmonia once. Masked Bishop then reveals himself, and this is the biggest spoiler yet, as our good friend Luke, who has the true wind rune. He and Sasarai are clones of High Priest Hikusak of Harmonia. But while Sasarai was fine, the true wind rune fused badly with Luke, and he's got not a lot of time left, and he's sort of sick of everyone dying in all these stupid true rune wars. So his goal is to get all the elemental runes together to destroy his true wind rune, which is a very stupid idea. Yubber has joined him for chaos, and Albert has joined him for his own reasons. And Sarah is in love with him. So he steals Sasarai's true earth rune, and then he ends up stealing all three of the other true runes in the game, but he only manages the true lightning rune in the manga. The manga is much better than the game, I say. And then after he steals all of these and gets Chris's father killed in the intermission, he then goes and sets him out. We recover the runes and then go fight him out as his true wind rune goes berserk. Then he and Sarah die and nothing is accomplished because there's no sequel after that game. Suikoden 3's plot is really, really messed up because it is no joke. Like 80% Act 1, 5% Act 2, and then 15% Act 3. Your only bosses will only ever be like Yubber, like Luke and his group. And you can just lose them constantly because it doesn't matter. And when you finally get time to win legitimately, they just steal your true runes anyway. It's really annoying beating up Luke and his group, then having them just steal it anyway. And that's it. That's what happens in 3. A whole lot of meandering, and then the end of the game. Like, there's not even that many war battles. There's, God, 3? 4 maybe? They're bad, so I'm not against it. Like, I didn't even talk about your strategist because he's so irrelevant. Anyway, that's it. Everything is sort of at a non-easy piece like at the start of the game. Nothing has really changed other than Sasarai kind of dropping it. Oh, right. But that's how it goes. Oh yeah, Nash is there, still doing Nash things. He's gotten married. Who does a handsome man now, and like I said, it's a game that's 80% Act 1. Its pacing is really messed up. 5% Act 2. No joke, you have to go through like 3 or 5 chapters of Chris, Hugo, and Godot's plot before you can select one of them as the Flame Champion. And while they interact and intermingle with theirs, Luke's, the other 3 perspectives are Thomas the Tank Guy, who's irrelevant, a dog who's super irrelevant but fun, and then Luke's perspective, where you basically watch him cause all the issues that happen during the game. And the funny thing is the true runes are really bad in that game too. Lightning is amazing, but fire is actually detrimental. Water is, well, 9 shots of kindness rain is great, but Chris is a terrible mage. He's a physical bruiser. And you're generally, you know, not going to put it on Hugo. Hugo's better, but he's still not great. The battle system also got another refinement to probably the worst variant in the series, and I say that knowing that 4s exists. Like, it's just a lot of the gameplay in 3 is bad. Like, the UI, everything is just a mess. The war battles are terrible. There's, like, no duels, and they're all bland nonsense with no real impact on anything ever. The battle system is now doing this weird pair-up system where one character attacks and the other one sits on their butt doing nothing. You can't really... I didn't even know the game had unite attacks because the UI is so messed up. Magic now has a cast time. Characters now run about the field in full 3D. It's just a game that's just kind of a mess. A lot of people swear by it because it's innovative. If your innovation is bad, why should I? The only probably good thing is the skill system and a bit of change on the accessories and equipment. Oh, it doesn't even have a world map either. It's the start of the time when there was no world map. Instead, areas are just sort of field dungeons. You don't get Vicky and Blinking Mirror for forever in 3. Just a lot of issues. I will actually put 3 at the worst of the mainline games, even over 4. Because like I said, when I played 4, I was sick out of my mind, so... Hey, it was fine. I'm completely burning up. I'm skipping school. Yay. And Tactics sort of redeems 4, too, a bit. I'll finish it off, make it better. Of course, True Ruin is worse than any of the ones in 3s, but Tactics changes it into a super beast, which might be the best in this series. Oh yeah, your castle in 3 is awful too. It looks bad, it never really upgrades, it's like a crumbling piece of garbage from start to finish no matter how many stars you recruit. The ones that offer services are better, but like even things like the bath and the investigator are just worse too. I mean, I guess the minigames in 2 are worse, but oh yeah, the battle. The one good thing is there's a new skill system, but it's also kind of a double-edged sword. Characters now gain skill points in addition to experience, which can be used to improve skills, which increase stats or give them different benefits. Though, because, well, translation, it's also hard to tell what these even mean sometimes. Because, like, the most critical one is sort of swing speed. And its description is increases swing speed. What the hell does that mean? Oh, well, it means it increases your chance of multi-attacks. You know, massively increasing your damage. And who wouldn't want that? That's sort of it. Characters have their own preset skills. Some of them are specific. But you also have, like, pointless diversions. Like, each magic type has its own thing. Doesn't come back in 4. 4 is really rudimentary, but Tactics brings it back in. 5 is a much more simplified version, which is both good and bad for its own circumstances. But I guess I'll talk about those in the third go through the credits, because there's one more ending to go through, and I can't skip anything here for some reason. I need to get the ending CG to see if there's any achievements locked with it. Not even down to the up-down credits yet. And the third ending has its own CG too. Ugh. Really can't talk about 3 anymore. I went over all of it. I guess Lekna busted him Luke out of a prison in Onia. Apparently. Let's see. I guess I could go over the true runes a bit more. Let's see, starting in order of what we see. I guess we'll start with the Sovereign rune, which was a Harmonian rune before the original Rognar from the Scarlet Moon overthrew Harmonia. Then he just took it. It doesn't really have much point. It might turn you into the Golden Hydra, who knows? But it renders you immune to magic and gives you the right to rule or something. Then you have the Gate rune, which was part of the Gate rune clan, which Harmonia slaughtered. Leknon and Windy managed to separate it into two halves to use most of its power, and then bailed out to do whatever they wanted to do. After that, next we meet Ted, who has the Soul Eater of the Rune of Life and Death. Windy would destroy that village to get at it, but Ted would escape with it and have his own adventures before eventually meeting up with Tyr during the War of Succession and becoming friends with him. And the next one we meet is Luke's True Wind rune, which we went over. Harmonia had this. They cloned Hikusak with Luke and Sasarai, but the True Wind rune wasn't implanted right in Luke, so he would eventually die because of it, which sort of forces his hands in 3. He was in prison until Leknot broke him out, and then he just sort of served her like a jerk for a while. Then the next one we see is the Moon rune that Necklord has. It represents compassion. Rarely drinks up the blood, though. It was originally property of Sierra, who I already went over Sierra, but the vampire Coven Mistress eventually was found by a knight Reen Pennenberg. Turned him into a vampire. Started finding a village of other vampires until Necklord stole the rune from her. Well, she put it on the altar in the village. Necklord stole it. Everyone eventually went berserk, left away. She hunted down all the other vampires and eventually found Necklord and killed him and got it back. Then the Night rune, which just turns into the Celestial Sword. It has a bond with the Sun rune from Suikoden 5. Not really relevant right now, but it got real pissed about it or something, but who knows. Granted, considering the sword itself and its attitude, not a surprise. It shared off some child runes of itself and its bond. Eventually just sort of mucked about in random caves being a jerk. Then it's the Eightfold rune. That is going to be Yubber's rune, which does... who knows? We only know it because of out-of-game, etc. Might command monsters. Might mean Yubber is not human. Who knows? It's never said once in the text of the game. Then, next we run into the last rune of 1, I believe. The Dragon rune, which lets dragons exist in the world of Suikoden. Yep, dragons aren't natural to the world. They need the true rune of the dragon to live. Joshua is super old, actually. He's older. He's actually alive during Suikoden 4, which takes place 150 years before Suikoden 1. And he's alive there. And it's not long after that as he gets the rune, frankly. Eventually, between 2 and 5, he passes it on to Milia, who has her own daughter, and Joshua retires to go off and die. Sharon, I think is Milia's daughter's name. Who knows what the father is? Then, after this, we go over to Suikoden 2. Of the rune in the beginning, the first of them, the one most representative of the sword and shield of the creation myth. It was split into 2, the black sword and the bright shield by Genkaku and Han Cunningham, to prevent conflict and increase conflict. Oh goody, it's at its end. Wait, I don't get an ending CG? Oh, there I do. Wait, where's Muku Muku? Why, yes, I want to save that data. I got the truest of two runes. But there's one more ending. I don't need to talk to you too. I already know what you're gonna say. Also, I think if you just loop around to Vicky, something else stops you. You gotta get this cutscene. Like the stairs and stuff. No, weirdly enough, I think you can still recruit the flying squirrels. I think if you go back to Cairo, you can actually get Muku Muku if you didn't recruit him earlier. It took me a lot of tries as a kid to get the best ending in this game. I would always miss, like, even with the guide, there would always be someone I miss. Gilbert, Clive, Mondo. Someone would die along the way. Olan. Yes, top to bottom nonsense. But I'm old now, and I have the internet. Remember when the internet didn't exist? What a crazy time that was. But here at last. Here at last. Camp where we once were. Proud has fled the country, as has Joey's other family. They're probably somewhere in Harmonia. Oh yeah, Annalie and stuff are from Harmonia. Ying, you came. Just like you promised. Here we are, once again. This is where our journey began. You and I started out walking the same path, but ended up going our separate ways at some point. Even so, I have no regrets. I would regret my actions. Would have done so already when I betrayed the city-states and assassinated Lady Annabelle. You and I were a lot alike. We were both aiming for the same thing, but I just... The Highland camp, after I helped you both escape, I was captured and brought before Luca Blight again. I hated his brutal ways, it's true. I can't deny that I admired his strength a little bit at the same time. Thought if I was that strong, I could protect everyone. I create a gentle world where no one would ever be hurt again. But... no. Forget about it. This is a battle between the King of Highland and the leader of the Unicorn Army. This is truly the final battle. You don't need to fight. Yes, we do, Ying. Let's test your strength. Ying, you really are. Let's finish this long, long battle. Why? Why have you come all this way? I did now decide not to fight. No reason we must fight. Oh, but there is. Remove any trace of Highland Kingdom from this land. Agaris and Luca are already dead. I put Jelly to rest with my own hands. Makes me the last living blight. You are the hero that will defeat me. Extinguish the Blight bloodline once and for all. There will always be fanatics who seek to revive the Highland Kingdom. After all, sometimes hope can drive people to madness. Let's make our war the last to ever plague this land. Here goes, Ying. You're the leader of the Unicorn Army, Ying. Ying, you really are. Let's finish this long, long battle. You're the leader of the Unicorn Army, Ying. You must fight. Never. Ying, I always envied you. Even in this moment, you're kind. I think that's why I betrayed you. You're loved by so many people, so I... Joey! I used too much power. The beast rune that Luca tried to free. I had to use my black sword rune to stop it. Our two runes. Together they make a true rune. When used alone, they draw upon our vital energy. Ying, at this rate we'll both die. So I give you my life, so that the two can become one again. Ying, give me your right hand. I can't do that. Ying, I'm sorry. I can't endure it anymore. All the lives that I stole, all the people I hurt. I can't do it, Joey. Please, I beg of you, don't let our dream end for nothing. I can't do it. Ying, there's no time. Please, I'm already... I still can't. Ying. What's happening? The rune. This power. It's healing my body? The rune of beginning. Its power to judge conflicts appears only when the bearers of the two runes that compromise it have faced each other in battle. Battle much like that which birthed our world. Despite all this, Ying, you chose not to fight. Your spirit, those of the 108 stars of destiny, they are stronger than even the power of the true rune, the rune of beginning. Just as I thought, you possess great strength. Go forth, Ying and Jowie. The world still holds much for you, is full of the unknown. There's no reason for you to stay in these lands. I murdered people with my own two hands. Lady Annabelle, Luca Blight, countless soldiers. My sins are too great. And they cannot be erased. But I believe that you, the two of you, have the strength to bear this burden and go on. Man-cow Joey Blight is no more in this world. If I leave this land and the name Joey behind, will I still be me? You know the answer to that. Ying. This is the place where our journey began. How long has it been since we were first here? Let's go, Ying. Let's make this place the beginning of our next journey, too. Joey has joined the party. Yay! We can destroy so much now. Why is your weapon so weak? Ooh, this man. Just gonna... some mega medicine, because you hurt me good. Yeah. If we hadn't run away then we'd have problems, because without you two, peace would never come to this land. Ying, so you're leaving after all. I'd hope that you would stay and lead this still unstable country. You're the right man to do it. I won't try to stop you. You've certainly paid a heavy price and then some. I ask no more of you. Go and see the world with your own eyes. It'll hold so much for you. And I hope that one day, when you finish with your journey, you'll come back. There's just one thing I have to left to report. Keeping secrets isn't loyal behavior as a subordinate. I was explicitly told not to tell you. When Nanmi fell in the Matilda K knightdom, What? No! You call yourself a doctor! Stop it, Flick. All you're doing now is taking your anger out on him. It won't change anything. I know that, I know, but still. It's just too unfair for Ying. First Kiba and now Nanami. We fought so hard together, scratched out victory together. Now it just feels like ends here like this. Darn it. Ying. Master Shu. What? Can I speak with you inside? Master Shu. Dr. Huan, what is this? Sorry, I put him up to it. I suppose you have a good reason for doing this? Yes. I'm thinking about going my separate way from Ying for a while. That will sadden him greatly. I know that. I do. I can't take any more of this, of Ying and Joey fighting. Can't bear to see Ying in pain either. When the arrows flew at us, Ying tried to shield me with his body. That's when I understood. Ying shouldn't be doing such things. True, a leader can't behave like that. That's why I'm gonna let you all have him to yourselves for a while. What will you do in the meantime? I'll go back to Grandpa Kikaku's house. I think it'll be safe enough if people don't figure out that I'm back. Besides, it'd be so sad if he had no home to return to once this is all over. Don't you think? Finally, I have a favor to ask. If and when the time for him to come home does arrive, I want you to tell Ying about this conversation we had. Why ask me of all people to do this? Because knowing you'll never tell him unless it's absolutely necessary. Yes, you're right about that. Very well, I'll do it. And so, that's it. Those are my final words to you as your strategist. Take good care of yourself, Commander. He's alive. Alrighty, the best ending achieved. Like I mentioned earlier, if you fled from Tinto, you would actually get another non-standard game over. If you did the defense strategy without having all 108 stars and enemy alive, secretly alive, you would still end up getting the other ending I showed. If you just went and straight beat him up, it would just be a bit drawn out. So yeah, Jowie was using his rune to also keep the beast rune from going berserk after what happened in Muse. Boy howdy, is it kinda good, I guess he did that. On the other hand, maybe Muse would have held out if he hadn't, caused things to go chaos with killing Lady Annabelle. But as the fate we have chosen. Man! Beyond just the 108 stars, during the events in Rock X, you actually have to have Nanami with, I don't know if there's a 100% determined number, but she has to actually have defense value. I think it's 121 at minimum. Who knows if it's lower or higher. So if you strip all of her equipment, thinking that you can get all that potch pack, nope, no good ending for you. Phew. I like Grammy how she does not return to life. Just survives almost magically. Really is no reason why she should survive with 108 compared to not. I mean, heck, should just survive by default. And if you don't do the 108, you don't show up with her. That would make slightly more sense. As the games goes on, there's no reward for 108 in 3. The ending doesn't change, it's always the same ending. Well, I guess it's slightly dependent on your flame champion, but it doesn't really matter. Getting 108 just unlocks Luke's perspective in 3. And, well, same thing. I'm going to talk about 4 and 5 here, once we get past the Mercenary Fort and Tactics. We'll not be talking about Tier Kiss, because Tier Kiss is bad and irrelevant. What? Oh, that's Suikoden love. I'm still on schedule for Suikoden tomorrow, and probably on Sunday as well. Don't turn into a disaster. Monday, though, looks like Disputed Sands and Starship Troopers Extermination is coming out, so we're going to be hopping in there. A couple new upgrades. No, that 1.3 is bringing that much, but hey. I don't know what time I'll be streaming tomorrow, and I kind of don't even know what I'm going to be doing either. I could... God, like, minigame hell. Go off the Two River one. Do some funky stuff in the war battles, maybe. Or I could do a minimum recruit Suikoden 1. That's also a possibility. Because, it's really hard to just do minimum recruits. Harder than you think. Yeah, there's still plenty of good characters. Oh, wait. Talk about 4 and 5? Well, eventually I'll get to 4 and 5. Because, not even just minimum recruits, but minimum party, too. Who needs the 108 stars? Gremio's terrible. Probably the worst character in 1, honestly. His stack rolls getting messed up don't help at all. Man, you just lose so much power if you go for minimum. And so many of them are just simple, I don't have I don't have an in-base save point if I don't recruit Marie. She's not forced. Well, there's still some fine mages, and my final party would be just McDowell and Victor and Flick. That's not good. Well, it honestly would be too bad. Golden Hydra isn't too much of a problem. So, you gotta roll with what you got. And actually use mega medicines like mad. It can't do that much damage. Man, soloing the Beast Rune. Well, I've done before in the past. Not on hard, though, but... Hey, let's get some Star and Love, and maybe finally can get that bloody pistol-only video out. God, stupid OBS not recording correctly. Alright, let's talk about 4. I'll let Hoy, these 3 go away if you want to bail out. Wait. Filler. Suikoden 4 takes place 150 years ago. Dean and Vicky still show up, as does Leknot, and a surprise guest from elsewhere. It takes place in the island nations. They're not a federation yet. You are playing as Laszlo. No matter what the wiki says, it is Laszlo, it is not Razro. And your best friend Snow Vingerhut. They are part of the Dukedom of Gaiam with the Knights of Razril. It is like the largest island in the area. It used to have Middleport, but the Kuluk Empire to the north on the northern continent, south of the current Scarlet Moon Empire. God, and this is going to be so weird to say. Got into a giant war, smashed them, decided to grant autonomy to the island of Middleport, and steal a giant tree monster. The giant tree monster was summoned by a guy named Warlock, who's a recruitable star, and its seeds are the rune shells, which power the giant boats. They're supposed to be powerful enough to destroy a ship in one shot, but it obviously doesn't for gameplay. Fairly miserable. It's still one of the better war battle systems in the series. So, blah blah blah. Let's see. Eventually, Laszlo and Snow get in contact with the pirate Brando. Snow runs like a coward, and Laszlo takes command and fights off Brando and kills him. But Brando has the true rune of punishment, and it flies over to not Laszlo, instead their commander of Glen. Anyway, they retreat back to their home base, where they're attacked by a giant fleet of pirates led by a guy named Dario. Glen uses the Rune of Punishment to destroy the fleet, and it goes over to Laszlo, who everyone blames for killing Glen because he drops dead. Rune of Punishment is really, really painful to its bearer. You then flee with 2 of your other recruits and a cat kobold named Chiapo. And that's it. You only get 4 party members in 4. You ran into, like, the super Kuluk guy who will proceed to kick your butt, and then you flee again. You wind up on an abandoned isle where you can just live if you feel like it. Or team up with a mermaid and build a raft and get picked up by the Kingdom of Obel. Their princess, in fact. And you brought over to the king, join him. They get attacked by Kuluk, who takes over the island. You set off on a giant boat, which is your base. You then recruit a Silverberg, who's just down here for no reason, really. He proceeds to offer you the amazing advice to get people to join you. You then go get the Pirate Queen, a bunch of random pointless isles who don't really contribute anything. Then you go liberate Razril and Obel. You recruit Snow as your 108 reward, and your true rune goes from being so awful it hurts you to not hurting you if you get 108. You go to the Kuluk Southern expansion base, where you find out that Eleanor's apprentice was responsible for all of this, because he originally had the Rune of Punishment, but he cut off his bloody hand to get rid of it, which went to his son, who then sort of bounced around between a lot of people, including the Queen of Obel. Can't remember its exact timeline, but a lot of people had it. In fact, it has the most people. Oh, Nanami, after reuniting Karya, the three friends continue to journey together merrily. Ying, to him, the smiles of Joey and Nanami are his greatest treasures. It changes your ending, yay. Anyway, after beating up Eleanor's apprentice with your side party, not even your main party, you go and destroy the giant tree, and then the building collapses and you leave, and Eleanor decides to die. And that's the plot of 4. Nothing really happens. If you don't have one of 7 stars, the main character actually dies. If you do, he lives, and you can transfer your data to the Suikoden Tactics, where you can actually recruit him in snow. And the Rune of Punishment goes from being so bad it will kill you repeatedly, in addition to doing absolutely no damage. Its first level spell is double digits, single target. Yeah. And it hurts you. Its third level spell has a % chance of being an instant kill and can still instant kill you. Remember how the first level spell is a 100% instant death and won't kill you for Soul Eater? Yeah. Like I said, it's way better in Tactics. In Tactics, you follow Kirill, his dad, his goat mom, yes, really, as they investigate the current Pirate King Steel, who has the Rune of Punishment between someone and someone else. You kill him, but in his rage, he kills off your dad, puts Kirill into a coma, and it goes over to Brando and turns one guy from a pretty boy to an old man. It's weird. Anyway, after Kirill recovers, he starts hunting down something weird, I don't even remember. He just sort of jumps around a bot. You can start recruiting a bunch of old guys, some new guys. You eventually run into a guy called Iskis, and make your way north at King Lino and Kuldis' request. Go investigate Kuluk. You run into a young girl named Cordelia, whatever, and help her track down her mom. Oops, it turns out Cordelia is the granddaughter of the Emperor of Kuluk, and her mom is the current princess, and her dad is the current prince. But her mom has been seduced by Iskis, who is part of one of the reform factions in the Empire, but he has his own ambitions. And you just sort of get involved in this fight until Iskis pulls his coup, gets daddy killed and turned to a fish, gets granddaddy killed and turned to a fish because they were trying to find some way to get rune shells, because the tree was the source of those. So they got a giant monster fish eye thing instead to do it and turn people into fish monsters. Anyway, you track him down to his hidden factory, kill him again after he turns into a giant frog monster. Kirill gets teleported to kill the fish monster eye thing causing all this, learns a goat is his mom, and then just goes back to doing business. And that's sort of the plot of Tactics. Mostly interesting for having Laszlo actually talk and being really powerful. It goes from being absolutely pathetic to amazing. Its first level spell now is a huge nuke with a gigantic range. Its second level spell can do 4-digit damage in a 3 damage cap game. And its third level spell is still instant death, but with a much better chance. And huge range, and his fourth spell is just... His fourth spell was always decent, it was just... there. That's 4 in Tactics. They're not very long at all. There's not really a lot of interesting characters in there either. Well, there is one in the big side quest, but we won't talk about that because it's too big a spoiler. And then 5, my personal favorite. You follow the Prince of Felena, his loyal bodyguard Leon, his aunt Cylides, and George Prime himself. You start at level 2 and George is level 20. And then you deal with the intrigues about the Sun Rune, the plots between the noble families, the Armas Kingdom where Shin is from, New Armas Kingdom where Shin is from. Like, 5's plot is really good. I don't want to spoil it. You got a lot of great characters, just from top to bottom, everywhere. The best protagonist in the series. He's another silent protagonist in a time when voice acting was coming into the games. And he doesn't speak in cutscenes, but so they compensated by making him really, really expressive instead, with his body language and his face. The war battles are the best in the series. It takes place in real time. And it keeps the rock, paper, scissories nature of it, but you have a lot more control. You have a lot of abilities. There's a bit of problem where, say, if you lose a fight, someone could be rammed into a bad spot, but as long as you use your abilities correctly, you should never have a real problem. Takes a bit of getting used to. Battles are now sort of at their peak. The skill system is back again. Been much trimmed down to characters only having 2 skills and mostly only for generic stat boosts. Instead of everyone having to just get their own skill points, there's also a party skill points system they can pull from. And if they cap out, they can transfer their skill points to the parties. That way you can always bring people up to stuff. One problem though is, everyone's levels start at level 1. Weird like that. It's actually a problem because it can be really slow to get things. The base in 4 is a big boat. It's boring, not interesting. Art style in 4 is also pretty bad. 5, your castle. Only upgrades based on certain plot points, not on your star recruits. Loading times for 5 are really bad. That's easily the worst thing. Most of your recruits are gotten in good time, your important ones. Your trader, your item shop guy. Your blacksmith, most of them can be gotten somewhat quickly. You're not getting your blacksmith as one of your 100 plus stars like in 2. You don't have to deal with a billion blacksmiths like in 1. And most of them have much more personality than the guys in the earlier games. Heck, even some of them can back up other things. Back up to 6-person battles. You can actually have a 4-person convoy now. There's certain characters that are convoy only, or you can put other battle characters in there and switch them out as you need to be. Instead of just your 3x3 rows, you actually have formations in 5, so you can change how your characters are, and you get different stat boosts. And they've also fixed up the battle system a bit too. All characters can now attack at all ranges, it's just they have accuracy issues if they're not in their right range. Like your classic 6-person, there's now like 4 total rows. Here. So short characters have their accuracy good in the 1st and 2nd, medium characters in the 2nd and 4th, and long range characters wherever. Because they're still long range. And that's still never healed, huh? And different formations also change up where they are on the battlefield. And change the effect of, column attacks and row attacks. Characters will be in different rows and positions. Your true rune, well, you're not your true rune, but your rune in 5 is pretty pathetic. It's, oddly enough, the one time, it's, in fact, aside from the bright shield, it's the only one that's actually useful in a war battle. And it's astoundingly good in the war battle, but otherwise it's pretty weak. Otherwise, the prince is a pretty good beat stick, can be a pretty nice mage. He's an all-rounder, average or above average in everything. I have actually legitimately had him solo the final dungeon with no issue, just because you can customize and buff characters in 5 to absurd degrees. You also got your usual Suikoden wackiness of recruits, wacky on-human recruits, returning characters, 2 large characters. You got a giant snake, a giant turtle. You got your army of beavers who are actually really, really strong. I am not joking about that whatsoever. 5's cast is delightful. Oh, it's also got a ton of endings, though depending on how you want to do it, it might have different endings. But there's, in addition just the 3 you can get, 4 you can get at the end of the game. You also got a couple you can get along the way. Though depending on how you do it, it might be different. As about 3 of them are just really non-standard game overs. One of them's pretty extensive. The other 3 are kind of funny. One of them is just for losing a duel at a bad time. And 2 of them are for losing a plot important battle in an awkward spot. And one of those plot battles is extraordinarily hard. It's a forced party thing. I literally sent in a base level character who is literally so powerful she could have won it on her own without me doing anything to power her up. Some 10 to 15 hours after she's recruited. But recruitment in 5 is terrible. It is awful. It is randomly completely locked out if you're in a plot sequence. It's really bad. Hey, it's in color now. But where's Moko? Yeah, some other 2 things. Oh, maybe I should go after this Clive side quest. I don't have to do voice acting. I can just burn through the game, and I can just turn off the thing otherwise. Oh, if I really want to do that minimum thing, it looks more challenging, and I want to do some challenges. Get this game up in the convention, and then if I record it and get a real video out for it. You can go back to the renewal. I've never gone deep enough to see if you can go to the Beast Rune if anything happens. I don't remember what happens if you just go solo through. What happens to drag you out. I think that's a good portrait to end it on. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you had some fun on this journey. I'm going to go eat, and I'm going to go work, and I'm going to go do something. I hope you all have a good day. I hope I've encouraged some of you to go purchase some Suikoden yourself. If not, maybe Connor or Premiere 2 VODs Pete's, or maybe, heck, maybe some Holo will do it. But this is a series that means a lot to me, so I still want to play it a lot. I hope everyone has a good day. You keep messing around in more Suikoden Remaster, and let's keep gathering those stars of destiny.